Shedeur Sanders is not as good as you think. He was a widely overhyped quarterback by the media, and there's a reason why he fell so far in the draft. And to put it into simple terms, it's because his film is not as good as people say. The interviews and personality questions aside, he was never supposed to go in the first round. And that's the opinion of most NFL scouts and teams, and mine as well. I'm going to show you exactly what the issues were that they were seeing in his film, and why he isn't actually a pocket passer, which makes him all the more overrated when you look at who he really is as a player. Now, one of the things you see right away in Sanders' film that raises some eyebrows is his lack of a deep ball ability and underwhelming arm strength, but his film speaks for itself. Oregon's defense is going to mess this coverage up. It should be cover one with the safety free to do whatever he likes. Instead, Sanders has the defense on their toes with a perfect opportunity downfield right here. This is a can't miss throw, especially with the safety being too shallow enough to catch this in time. The receiver also has a corner burn, and Sanders is going to be hurried with the blitz not being picked up well. However, it's still enough time for him to get this out cleanly. Shedeur throws this short and inaccurate out of bounds though. He should have put some arm into it and thrown this ball downfield. Yes, he's being hurried, but he has plenty of time to at least give the receiver somewhat of a chance. That was when he's being hurried, but how about when he has all day to throw? Against Arizona, Sanders is going to see a cover 3 variation. Shedeur looks to his right and sees both receivers open short, but then looks to his left to see Travis Hunter gain a step on the corner and is open for the go route. Sanders sees it and throws it. In addition, he also has plenty of room and there's no pressure whatsoever. It's as easy as it gets for this kind of throw. He still misses this, however, not even giving Hunter a reasonable shot to get it. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous, but we'll look at another example as Day. If you can't throw this correctly with enough velocity to get there fast enough, it's going to be a problem. Those ones you could see as misses or mistakes, but these next two are undeniably bad. It will legitimately make you question his ability to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And the thing is, guys, there's more I could show you of this, but there's just not enough time to show you everything. For the coverage though, it's going to be cover 3 with a little blitz mixed in. Now Shedeur is going to pretty easily see this and throw it. And again, this is as open as it can get. But Sanders throws this not only short, but with terrible placement as well. Some might be quick to point out the hold, and that's why it looks bad, but look at this with me. Watch Sanders as he sees Hunter getting open. He is preparing the throws already before the hold really happens. And it's clear as day, this area is where the ball should be thrown. It's also in a much better place to avoid the safety than where he actually places his ball. Sanders has plenty of space and room to work with as well. This is so badly butchered by the defense that it's embarrassing for Sanders because it's just there, man. The coverage is going to be cover 0 with a critical point of the safety here in the corner should have switched off, and that's called banjo. Instead, they get caught in the traffic and Jimmy Horn Jr. is going to be open. Sanders just needs to drop this in the bucket in front of him, and instead he throws this wildly short with all the time in the world. It's him placing this ball terribly, or his arm strength is just not good enough, which is a red flag either way. Now remember this for later, how long it takes for him to throw this here, even though it's open from the get-go and that he's staring it down. We will come back to this very soon. I point this out because it is a constant in this film. I wouldn't spend the time to show you this if it wasn't happening on a regular basis when every game it is happening. Now Shedeur has been talked about as a pocket passer, especially when compared to Cam Ward. But when you think pocket passer, what comes to mind? Probably someone who can operate offense well and have great accuracy, both of which Sanders does really well. But two other things come to mind with being a pocket passer that Sanders does not do well, one of which is processing. As a pocket passer, you need to be good at processing coverage, handling pressure, and getting the ball out quickly, as usually these guys don't have great physical traits to get them out of pinches. Unfortunately, Shedeur has enough times as a passer where he freezes or gets locked into one read, which is one thing to get stuck on a read. It's a whole other thing when he also takes a long time to actually make the decision to throw the ball when he sees it. And the result of him doing that has led to some catastrophic consequences. But before I show you those plays, I want to show you what you see on a regular basis, but it may not result in a catastrophe. This is going to be a tight window throw that he should have thrown. Watch this receiver here and see how open he is and keep an eye on Sanders. Shedeur already knows he's going to be open with all this room and he sees it too, but he just stares it down all the way till he is forced to move. Now here's a better angle of it, and the receiver will come into the play around there. You see Sanders make a clear look to the far right, then come back to watch the receiver turn around the defensive back covering him, but he just watches him. Whether he throws it ahead of him or throws it inside, it's there for him. He needs to see it and throw it. Now this is where it gets him into deep trouble. The coverage pre-snap looks to be cover 3, moving to cover 4 post-snap. Sanders is going to look at this read and watch it till he sees the receiver open. The problem is, the safety is watching him like a hawk and proceeds to jump this route and intercepts it. Sanders needed to look off the safety to clear this receiver. It's something that almost every NFL quarterback does and needs to do at the NFL level, and we can confirm he is staring this down, because you can tell when a QB at this camera angle looks to the far sides of the field, and you saw that in the last one as well. But here you can watch the safety's movement, and right when he plans to go at this ball, since Shedeur is just so glued to this read like a toddler with an iPad, it's also late coming out of his hands and inaccurate placement. When you see pick sixes at the NFL level, it usually is because the quarterback throws too inside or behind the receiver, or a corner jumps a route. But a pick six like this will lose your job at the NFL level. And in this play, Shedeur pulls a Josh Rosen. We are looking at zone coverage by Nebraska's defense, and the defender we want to pay attention to is here. His eyes are glued to Sanders, and Shedeur's eyes are glued to his receiver. Let's see what happens. The easiest pick six in the history of football. Now watch Sanders and see what he does. From the moment Shedeur gets his hands on this ball, he is staring down the receiver, which makes it obvious he's going to throw it to him. You also see from this angle of him taking a moment before throwing this, even though it's clear he's already decided this is where he's going with the ball. For a guy that is seen as a first-round quarterback, I just expect so much better. Now here is where it all leads together. Sanders doesn't have a good arm, and paired with his poor deep ball ability, it might be a serious problem at the NFL level. He doesn't process at an elite level and does not really do that well at all levels of the field, including that hesitancy to pull the trigger. He also has a concerning tendency to stare down reads and take too long to take action, which leads us to the last thing. Sanders invites pressure at a very high rate. Despite his offensive line not being good, I know his offensive line was bad. When you watch his film though, you see the times where it is clearly on him. Shedeur simply holds onto the ball for far too long, which we talked about earlier. It's not that nothing is open, for most of the time at least, but that he stares it down and doesn't pull the trigger until it's late. In return, it allows pressure to get to him, which is not on the offensive line in those moments. According to Pro Football Focus, the stats back this as well. Shedeur has the 9th highest percentage of responsibility of pressure being on himself in the NCAA in 2024. This isn't what a pocket passer is supposed to do. It's get the ball quickly, it's run the offensive precision, add big time throws, or else you'll never leave the ranking of an average quarterback. The other problem is that Shedeur Sanders is not really a pocket passer. He is this magician, playmaker with limited ability to make those plays. He wants to make those plays, but he lacks the tools to do so consistently. While he does invite pressure because he takes too long to pull the trigger, he also invites it because he's trying to make something happen by scrambling around, sometimes for the good and some for the bad, which is why I think he's just overrated compared to what others are saying. We have a guy who plays outside of his capabilities in a conference that is not even close to a resemblance of an actual NFL defense. He doesn't have good arm talent to make the throws on the run that he attempts either. Sometimes it hits, yes, you can pull up a play of him throwing on the run, but on a play-by-play basis, he doesn't. His best game against reasonable competition is against TCU in 2023. In that game, he made great throws, some of which were deep balls, but thrown short as well. He also made more than a few turnover-worthy plays. He was not good against Oregon in 2023 either. And in 2024, against BYU for his bowl game, his last season as a college QB before entering the NFL draft, he looked terrible. I think his deep ball ability is not good. Whether that is arm strength or not in his film, it's just inconsistent. I really wanted to like Sanders. That's the funny thing. I heard a lot of people hating on him, and I was thinking I was going to love him and make this video on how he's going to be the best QB in the draft. But that wasn't the case. If I liked his film, I would have made a video saying he was good. And that's what I wanted to do. Let's say Sanders changes his play style and plays more of an actual pocket passer. He doesn't do the things a pocket passer does elite enough for the NFL level. Ultimately, I think the idea that Sanders is a first-round talent doesn't lie with this film. He's a case of a big name, big stats individual the media is buzzing over, only for NFL teams to not like him. And I don't mean that in a hateful way because he's a Sanders or whatever. Like, I'm just saying, like, the media brought his name up because of that status. And that's what hyped him up. And check out this video on a high-level analysis of each of the 2024 rookie quarterbacks. Comment down below what you think of Shedeur Sanders and what you think he'll be in the NFL. Remember, civil conversations. If you want to support me other than watching my videos, feel free to buy me a coffee. There's a link in the description for that. And for a sweatshirt, check out Comfort Hoodies. I have an affiliate link in the description, not sponsored, but whether or not you guys use the link, I'm telling you guys, these are the hoodies you want to buy for casual wear or traveling.